this is how I make my matte black rope lace Air Force Ones. So obviously to start, we have to remove those laces, and then I go in with this tool, which will then make the holes bigger. Everything I use in this video, I will have on my Amazon storefront, which is linked in my bio. But yeah, so then I go in and make the holes bigger with this tool. I'm not sure, I think it's called a hole puncher or something. But yeah, because I'm going to be putting 10mm laces in, I make sure the holes are big enough for 10mm. And I know what you're thinking, ew, those holes look horrible, but I will be cleaning them up. So once that's done on both shoes, I go in with my Dremel. And as you can see, the filing head is a bit chewed up, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace that. These are literally just sanding bands that you use for nails, but I use it on this because it is like the perfect size. And make sure you put safety goggles on, guys, because you don't want anything flinging into your eyes. I have my Dremel on speed 10 just because it gives the best result, I feel like, anyway. But then I just go ahead and do all of the holes, and after doing that there will be a lot of dust and residue from filing, so I like to just go in with my hoover and make sure I get rid of it all. And once that's done, we can move on to mattifying them. So obviously I use some acetone to get rid of the factory finish that's on them, and then I can take them over to my airbrush to spray on the matte finish. So what I like to do is I like to go over the shoe with black paint first, and then I go in with the matte finisher, because I find that if I just go straight in with the matte finisher, it's not as long lasting, like it doesn't stick to the shoe as well. So I like to go in with black paint first, and then I go in with the matte. The matte finish that I use is from Sneakersy Art. That's the only thing that I can't link on my Amazon storefront, but honestly, for me, it's the best matte finish that I've used. So, and once that's done and dry, I can then move on to the last step, which is putting in the rope laces. So the way that I measure the length of my rope laces, it's not very technical, so to speak, but I literally just put it against my table. I know my table is 1 meter long, so depending on the size of the shoes, like these are a size 4, I just made sure it was just over 1 meter. Whereas if it was something like a size 10, I would maybe do like 1.5 meters. And then when I'm happy with the length, I just tape it up with masking tape, and that's it basically. So if I just left it like that and tried to lace it up, it wouldn't work. So what I do is I get another bit of masking tape and just wrap it around the top into like a spiral sort of thing so that I can pull it through. And then from there, you just basically lace it up as you would do a normal Air Force One. And then finally, you need to make a lace tip. So I use these lace tips that are not lace tips, they are for electrical wiring, but they work perfectly. And as these are 10mm ropes, I use the biggest size. And basically, because we've already made that lace tip with the masking tape, these should be pretty easy to slide on. What I like to do is cut 2 in half to make 4, because that then makes it the perfect size, I feel. And then I just measure it to the bottom of the shoe, as I feel like that is the perfect length for them. And then the last thing you need to do is use a heat gun to shrink it to the lace, and then trim off the excess. And there you have it. That is how you make matte black rope lace Air Force Ones. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments below. And as always, I will catch you in the next one.